Greetings everyone. So the topic for today is verb and its types. By definition, as we know, that a verb is a word or a combination of words that indicates action or a state of being or condition. A verb is the part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Here we can see the types of verbs. We have finite verb, non-infinite verb, action verbs, linking verbs, auxiliary verb, modal verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb, regular verb, and irregular verb. So let's see one. Moving towards finite verbs are the actual verbs which are called the roots of a sentence. It is a form of verb that is performed by or refers to a subject. For example, Alex went to school. Subject is Alex, performed the action in the past. This information is evident only by the verb went. Robert plays hockey. He is playing for Australia. He is one of the best players. Here the verb is directly refers to the subject itself. Non-finite verbs are not actual verbs. They do not work as verbs in the sentence. Rather, they work as nouns, adjectives, adverbs, etc. Non-finite verbs do not change according to the number or person of the subject because these verbs are also called verbals, do not have any direct relation to the subject. Sometimes they become the subject themselves. The form of the non-finite verbs are infinitive, they can be gerund or they'll be participle. Participles become finite verbs when they take auxiliary verbs. Here are a few examples. Alex went abroad to play. So over here you can see that to plus base of the form of the verb, which is the play, is infinitive. Playing cricket is his only job. Over here we can see that playing cricket, the word playing is a present participle. So here it is non-finite verb. I have a broken bed. Over here we can see that the broken is non-finite verb and acting as a past participle. Walking is a good habit. Over here we can see that verb plus ing is acting as a noun. So here walking word is a gerund in this sentence. We can see action verbs over here. These verbs indicate what the subject of a sentence performs. Action verbs can be transitive or it can be intransitive as well. For transitive verbs, we know that they must have a direct object and a transitive verb demands something or someone to be acted upon. For example, I painted the car. The verb paint demands an object to be painted. So over here, we can see that the car is the object in this sentence. This is reading, she is reading the newspaper. The verb read asks the question, what is she reading? The answer is the object. And intransitive verbs do not act upon anything. They may be followed by an adjective, a verb, preposition, or another part of the speech, but they will not be followed by the object. For example, she smiled. The verb smile cannot have any object since the action of smiling does not fall upon anything or anyone. I wake up at 6 a.m. No subject is needed for this verb. The sun rises at 6 a.m. Again, rises here is an intransitive verb because it is not following any object in the sentence. Sana hits the stone. Transitive verb because we have object stone here. Ali is weeping rudely. Intransitive verb, I throw the ball towards Sarah. We can see that over here after verb we have an object, so that's why it is transitive verb. Sun sets in the west, it is intransitive verb. Sets, which is underlined, it is intransitive verb. Transitive verb can be changed into passive voice. This is another hint, clue, and intransitive verb cannot be changed into passive voice. So this is the clue from which you can identify the transitive and intransitive verb, or you can differentiate between both of them. Now moving towards linking verbs. A linking verb adds detail about the subject of a sentence. In its simplest form, it connects the subject and the complement. That is, The words that follow the linking verb, it creates a link between them instead of showing action. Often, which is on each side of a linking verb is equivalent. The complement defines or restates the subject. Do is an auxiliary verb that is used to ask questions, to express negation, to provide emphasis, and more. Here are a few examples. Alex is going to school. They are walking in the park. I have seen a movie. Do you drink tea? Don't waste your time. Please do submit your assignment. All the verbs are being underlined in the different sentences from where you can identify it easily. Now, auxiliary verbs. They are also called helping verbs. An auxiliary verb extends the main verb by helping to show time, tense, and possibility. The auxiliary verbs are be verbs, have, and do. They are used in continuous, progressive, and perfect tenses. Linking verbs work as main verbs in the sentence, but auxiliary verbs also help main verbs. Do is an auxiliary verb that is used to ask questions, to express negation, to provide emphasis, and more. Again, the same examples you can see over here. Now moving towards modal verb. A modal verb is a kind of an auxiliary verb. It assists the main verb to indicate possibility, potentiality, ability, permission, expectation, and obligation. The modal verbs which are commonly known as, or we have like can, could, must, may, might, ought to, shall, should, will, and would. There are a few examples from where you can identify them easily because they are all underlined. I may want to talk to you again. Over here, the may is underlined, which is a modal verb. They must play their best game to win. Must is a modal verb. She should call him. Should is a modal verb. I'll go there. Will is a modal verb. Now moving towards transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are action verbs that always express doable activities that relate or affect someone or something else. These other things are generally direct objects, nouns, or pronouns that are affected by the verb, though some verbs can also take an indirect object such as show, take, and make. In a sentence with the transitive verb, someone or something receives the action of the verb. Transitive verb, common examples like love, respect, tolerate, believe, maintain. The transitive verb examples in the following sentences are in bold for easy identification. Gray ate the cookies. The transitive verb is ate. Gray is the subject because it is Gray who is doing the eating, and the cookies are the direct object because it is the cookies that are being eaten. Other examples are he kicked John, John punches him, they sold the tickets. Example of words used with both direct and indirect objects. They sell him the tickets. Intransitive verb. Over here you can see intransitive verbs are action verbs that always express doable activities. They are different from transitive verbs because there is no direct object following an intransitive verb. Intransitive verb examples like laugh, walk, cough, play, run. And you can see in the sentences, the intransitive verb example, the following sentences are in bold for easy identification. We traveled to London. The intransitive verb is traveled. The subject is we because we are doing the traveling, but London is not a direct object because London is not receiving the action of the verb. Other examples are I sneeze in the morning. He arrived with moments to spare. Catherine sat away from the others. John eats before leaving for school. So over here in all the sentences, you can see that the words like sneeze is highlighted, arrived, sat, and eats because they are all the examples of intransitive verbs. Now moving towards regular verb. A verb that is past second form and past participle third form is made by adding d or ed is called regular verb because for the second and third form they will be the same words. Some regular verbs are listed below for identification as we can see walk, second form walked, walked. It's addition of ed in the verb walk. Talk, talked, talked. Same. Addition of ed. Clean, cleaned, cleaned. So second form and third form is same with the addition of the word ed. Choked, choked, choked. Second form, third form. It's just the addition of d in this verb. Grate, grated, grated. Again, we can see that it's the addition of d over here. With book, you can see it's addition of ed for both second and third form of the verb. For irregular verb, the formation of the verb is otherwise than the regular verb and it's called irregular verb. So it means that the second and third form of the verb would be different in the irregular verbs. As you can see, they are not formulated with the addition of d or ed, rather it is different. Shut, 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 drink, drank, drunk, or break, broke, broken, beat, beat, beaten. So there are some other examples from which you can easily identify that the second and third form of the verb is not same. Hence, they are all the examples of irregular verbs. There are some basic forms of verbs. There are 6 basic forms of verbs, and you can see the base form, children play in the field. Infinitive form, tell them not to play, to play. This is infinitive form. Past tenses with addition of d. You can say they played football yesterday. Past participle, I have eaten a burger. Present participle is verb plus in ing. I saw them playing with him today. Gerund, verb plus ing acting as a noun is the gerund. Swimming is the best exercise. Over here, swimming is the example of gerund. Verb plus ing, when it acts as a noun in a sentence, it is called as gerund. And when verb plus ing acts as an adjective or a present participle, so we can call it participle. So these are all the common example of the basic forms of the verb.